This is FE Peer Review, the Flat Earth Peer Review channel. The date is July 17th, 2020. This video is to address a misrepresentation made by Under No Pressure on the debate channel Agree to Disagree today. What we saw today was a debate on the channel Agree to Disagree under the YouTuber named Under No Pressure, who also goes by Spurskimo. At least twice during the course of the debate, made a claim that the videos by Action Lab showing a drop of a feather inside of a vacuum chamber was not acceptable according to his standard because it contained slow motion footage and cuts and such things. It did indeed contain slow motion footage. However, it contained no cuts. The filming was continuous from the start of the drop to the finish. I'll show two clips from the debate in which Spurskimo makes his statements about Action Lab's video. I'll follow that with the video of Action Lab itself.
Yeah, but where is the evidence for this? You're saying to me, whether you like it or not, this is the rate. And I've just told you that Brian Cox edited his ball and feather. I've just told you that Action Lab edited their ball and feather. So there are no observations anywhere in real time without the effect of a human. Well, obviously you've got to release the objects. I don't mean that. I just mean without them holding the vacuum.
Okay, here's an experiment you can do, right? Simple experiment.
So you think you could show in real time in a vacuum objects falling at the same rate?
Huh? Yeah.
Okay, give us a look then.
Huh?
Give us a look. Let's see.
Well,
I mean, you probably don't have it now, but yeah, I mean, that is not. Yeah. From what I've seen the BBC with Brian Cox. That is unsatisfactory because it's in slow motion. We have cuts, we have edits, just the usual NASA. I know it's BBC, but it's just the usual cuts and edits and not down the straight. And now I've seen Action Lab, where they showed objects in a vacuum. We had again time lapse for the objects fall at the same rate, so a lot of editing and cuts. And then when he showed the real time at the end, in real time, we saw that they didn't fall at the same rate, and he quickly brushed over that, and the video ended. So I've seen numerous videos and examples of where the objects do not fall at the same rate. So that's not a constant. I think you should actually have a look at that again, review it, test it again, and find out for sure if that's actually a fact.
What follows is a snippet from the Action Lab footage. It shows the two tests being done side by side with and without a vacuum, and then with slow motion, and then it shows the regular speed vacuum test. Clearly, Action Lab was not doing anything tricky or disingenuous in that video clip. The drop was done without any cuts. We saw the drop from its preparation through to its completion without any cuts, without any changed camera angles. They did show the footage in slow motion, side by side with the drop, the feather drop without the vacuum, so that we could compare the two in slow motion, which makes it easier to see. But they also included in their video the full speed clip. Spurskimo was casting aspersions on their work. He was making claims, he was making suggestions that their work was in some way deceptive, that they edited their work in such a way to create a false narrative. They did no such thing. And his aspersions were fundamentally dishonest. You cannot have a productive science-based discussion when one of the parties is being dishonest and deceptive. You simply can't. It's not possible. People have to commit to maintaining a very basic standard of ethics that involves not lying. In this video tonight on Agree to Disagree, we saw Spurskimo lie twice on the subject of Action Lab's work. He used the same aspersion against Brian Cox's work for the BBC. Now, the video for the BBC video clip I did not include because it was shown in slow motion. It did have changing camera angles and cuts. It did not show the full speed drop from beginning to end. They just simply didn't. That's not how they released the video to the public. It would have been probably pretty boring to look at it that way. But they did not do it because they were trying to be deceptive. And Spurskimo has absolutely no proof that they intended any kind of deception or that they manipulated that work in any way. However, I did not include the BBC footage because it does indeed not have, in what was released to the public, they don't show start to finish at regular speed. However, he was completely and utterly wrong about Action Lab. Their footage is there for anyone to see, including himself, and I can assure you he has watched that video, or he wouldn't even know it exists. So, Spurskimo, you lied. You know you lied. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to come out in public and apologize for lying and for defaming the work of serious scientists who are trying to educate the public? I think Action Lab deserves an apology from you.